So guys, Errol Spence says once he beats Mikey Garcia in emphatic fashion, he wants super fights with Terence Crawford or Manny Pacquiao. Listen, with the Manny Pacquiao situation, I would like to see that fight, but I would more want to see him fight Terence Crawford. I know Terence Crawford's fighting Amir Khan, and I hope Amir Khan beats Terence Crawford. But if both fighters, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, do come out victorious and they're massive favourites in their fight, then I would like to see that fight. And I think that's the next big really super fight coming out of America in the welterweight division, and probably all divisions. I think these two, for me, are the standout American fighters. Yeah, you got Wilder as a heavyweight, but I think in terms of skill for skill and pound for pound, you have to say that Errol Spence and Terence Crawford are the best American fighters in the world. And not just that, they're both in around the same weight, which means they're going to fight each other. So that's obviously great news for the fight fans. And obviously Errol Spence has a desire, to fight all the top guys. And a lot of people were criticizing Spence at the time that he's ducking Terence Crawford. I don't think he is. I think he knows that fight between him and Terence Crawford is not going to be easy to make, because obviously Terence Crawford is with, Bob Arum. So, he's with another promoter. So the fight's not going to be, easy to make. And he knows Al Heyman and Bob Arum don't get on. So he knows that that's a difficult fight to make. But I don't think, Errol Spence is afraid to fight Terence Crawford. If anything, Terence Crawford is a smaller man. But Terence Crawford wants to prove he's the best welterweight in the world. Just like he did at 140, he wants to move up and dominate. And I've always fancied Terence Crawford in that fight. I think Terence Crawford's too smart, too slick, and just too skillful for someone like Errol Spence. And I don't think Errol Spence, although Errol Spence is bigger than Terence Crawford, I don't think his size and strength is going to have as much impact on Terence Crawford as it would do against Mikey Garcia, because Mikey Garcia is a lot smaller. Don't get me wrong, Mikey Garcia is a lot more skillful in my opinion than Spence, but I just think Spence is so much bigger, and that's going to come. I think there's too much size difference there. I don't think there's that much size difference between Crawford and Spence, and I think Crawford's skill will, in my opinion, neutralize whatever size and strength. But unfortunately for Mikey Garcia, I think he's just too small, and he's not going to be able to neutralize Spence's size and strength. Whereas I think Crawford, on the other hand, will, and that's the difference. But I think it's definitely fights that we want to see. I think Pacquiao will also be a good fight. It'd be an easy fight to make because they're both with the same promoter. I think the fans would rather see Crawford and Spence, if I'm honest. The hardcore boxing fans, but they won't be crying at Pacquiao Spence either. And I think, like I said, the fight's easy to make. They're both with the same promoter. They're both with the same broadcaster. It'll be such an easy fight to make for both parties. It won't be very difficult. I don't think it'll be difficult in terms of negotiation, because I do think Spence, although he would have then enhanced his profile massively after beating Garcia, I don't think he's going to be greedy when he's at the table, because I think he's going to understand that Pacquiao is obviously a legend and a big draw, and Errol Spence knows that he's going to have to put Pacquiao on his resume. So I don't think he's going to be asking for too much money. I think he's going to understand that Pacquiao is probably the bigger draw, and he's going to get the biggest slice of the cake. And I think Errol Spence will. I don't think Errol Spence will say no. I have a problem with the money that's being offered. And I think it's just an easy fight to make. Whereas I think with Terence Crawford, there might be a few guys bumping heads in order to make that fight, because you've got Bob Arum and Al Heyman that's going to have to come together and work together. It's not really Al Heyman and Bob Arum, it's Al Heyman's team, and Bob Arum's going to have to come together and work that things out, which I think they should for the fight fans, because like I said, I think that's the next big super fight in boxing. In terms of skill, pound for pound, I think that's the best matchup that can be made in boxing. That and Mikey Garcia, you'd probably say skill for skill is the best fights out there in boxing right now. But leave your thoughts, guys. What do you guys make of Errol Spence targeting Pacquiao and Crawford? Do you think he'll get one of them next? Leave your thoughts. And guys, remember to please like, share and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.